I want to start with the weak Q4 forecast on sales, and I'm curious, could this be a reflection of the continued ability of Amazon's big retail competitors to sort of get it together, show momentum, show that they can really go into Amazon's turf? And I'm thinking about Walmart and Target, which seem to be getting better at this game.
Yeah, it could be that. But I think the big thing right now to think about is Amazon's really push this next day delivery pledge.
Right.
And the reason behind it being, well, if we can deliver in one day instead of two, there are a lot of times people are thinking about ordering something from us and they don't, because 2 days isn't fast enough. One day should be faster. So what we're seeing with this forecast is that whatever additional growth investors were expecting from this next day delivery pledge, which is quite expensive, is not coming, at least not in the critical holiday quarter.
So, Spencer, one of the things that's concerning here is that you sort of had this 1-2 punch with not only the holiday sales, but also a slowdown in growth of Amazon Web Services. Still a pretty healthy business, still healthy growth. But we saw these kind of slowdown growth numbers come from Microsoft and a couple other cloud companies. What's the future here for Amazon Web?
Well, for Amazon Web Services, I don't know if that's as big an alarm as the overall slowdown. It's a very large business and still growing in the 30% range is a very, very healthy clip. I think the big takeaway here is Amazon is investing big in next day delivery. They had a big miss last quarter because of their spending on next day delivery. Amazon's big spending ways for the future are here to stay, and the revenues aren't coming immediately.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, of course, the CEO, talking about Prime, about the investment in one-day delivery, saying customers love the transition of Prime from 2 days to 1 day. And he says, look, it's a big investment. It's the right long-term decision for customers. When will it be the right long-term decision for investors? Are they going to promise that next year, 2020, is when they can pull back a little bit on the expenses side of things and it will start to fuel the growth on the revenue and the bottom line?
That's a great question. The bottom line is just look at history. Jeff Bezos has no problem making investors wait if he thinks it's the right choice for the long term. And he's made that absolutely clear. He doesn't run his business quarter to quarter. He likes to talk about running it in decades. So when will that growth materialize? If it will materialize at all, who knows? And you guys brought up a good point earlier about the heightened competitive pressures. So when this bears fruit, that's going to be the kind of thing that investors will be needling Amazon about on a call coming up in a little bit.
Spencer, obviously you've followed Amazon for a long time. Sometimes they post earnings and the stock soars. Sometimes it tanks. It's not unusual. Within Amazon's meteoric rise, they've had some pretty big drawdowns. Is there anything different about this one, or is this just sort of Amazon is often extremely volatile because of the nature of its business after earnings, much more volatile, say, than many other ultra-large caps?
Yeah, I think that it's certainly volatile, and people are always trying to determine what's the pattern. And so what's different here is that investors had grown accustomed to widening profits, growing profitability for several quarters in a row. And the big question heading into this quarter was, okay, last quarter broke from that stride. Was that just a short-term blip or a long-term thing? So what we're seeing now is 2 quarters in a row of big spending. It means, okay, when is the spending going to stop? Was it a one-time thing to reach next-day delivery, or is this an ongoing exercise of bigger spending to achieve a long-term goal? And I think investors are definitely moving more toward the long-term spending after today's report.